Hey everyone, I want to talk all about how to support a family member who's going through really any mental health disorder. Now, anyone that's seen our videos, or maybe you haven't, my name is Nick. I have obsessive compulsive disorder. I had it really bad to the point where in 2019, I was in a mental hospital. It's called the Baker Act in Florida. I thought about committing suicide all day long. I had 24/7 hyper awareness of my sensations. I had really bad body dysmorphia. I had really bad fear, which is the fear of never recovering. And then little aspects of hit head-on harm types OCDs, little hits of POCD here and there, ROCD for sure, relationship OCD, and a couple other little things. But, I'm making this video specifically for family members who come across this. If you haven't found their stuff, if you're dealing with a loved one, a husband or a wife, mom or dad, a son, daughter, best friend, colleague, who has, any of the anxiety-based disorders such as OCD, PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, GAD, generalized anxiety disorder, panic disorder, and BDD, body dysmorphic disorder. But this actually goes way beyond that. You could apply the principles for family members or people that that have the personality-based disorders, schizophrenia, bipolar. We're not giving any advice at those, but we're talking from the perspective of how to deal with yourself. Now, those will look very, very different from the anxiety-based disorders, where the reassurance is really bad for us, the confession is really bad, et cetera, et cetera. So I will hone that specifically on these anxiety-based disorders, but the principles of taking care of yourself and the supporting them as you can for the personality-based disorders, which I don't ever go into that, but you can apply some of these tools, but that's not what our specialty is. Our specialty here is obsessive-compulsive disorder specifically, as all the people who have worked at this company have had really dark, lonely journeys with that disorder and some comorbidities as well with, some people with PTSD, GAD, panic disorder, and so forth. Before I go any further, please comment down below. Moms and dads, if you have kids with OCD, please comment down below. If you go through our channel, I answer a lot of stuff like that. My wife has done videos underneath the friends and family playlist, but I wanted to come from my particular angle. And if you need help with this, if you're really struggling, a family member, your husband, your wife, like I said, mom, dad, brother, sister, daughter, son, please email us at phil@ocdrecovery.com. We have very categorized and specialized coaching programs. We help people break down their fears, and we have a really good support system with the WhatsApp groups and the webinars, and it's just something I'm extremely passionate about because of my living experiences with OCD. So the very first thing I want to tell you from the perspective of the sufferer is nothing you say to us will help us, in a sense, unless I want to listen. Now, that doesn't mean you can't show tough love. That doesn't mean you can't show compassion and empathy. But the old cliche statement, you can bring the horse to the water, but you can't make him drink, is very, very applicable. I had my amazing wife. I had Rob, who was coaching me, Mom and other moderators giving me all the best advice that I could get from practical experience and a great support system. But it didn't matter because I didn't want to get better. That doesn't mean it was useless. I just wasn't ready to apply the knowledge myself. And until the individual is ready to apply, and I know how frustrating this is from having it, and I can only imagine how difficult it must be from watching it and seeing so clearly from a non-suffering perspective. These are the people that have done it. Please apply what they're saying. But because anxiety-based disorders specifically feel as what we call as real as it can get, the best example I can give to a non-sufferer is, imagine that you're sitting on a park bench and you're on a lovely day, right? And you're outside, it's a summer day, and someone comes up behind you and they take a shotgun and they go, and you hear that, and they press the back of the shotgun to the back of your head. Imagine how you would feel in that moment. The burst of anxiety, the confusion, the utter panic. Am I going to die? Are they going to shoot me? What's next? And they say, you can't turn around. Give me all your money. How it feels. That's what it feels to us all day long. It's something that we know that you're trying to help. We know that, but we're so stuck in our compulsions and our avoidance behaviors that we completely forget about that. So that's the most important thing, is that until we want to listen, we probably won't. But that doesn't mean you can't support and have tough love. The second thing is only using compassion and empathy. Now, moms and dads, husbands and wives, these are specifically for you, but this applies to everyone. That is, too much compassion and empathy is really bad for us. Now, when we see people that come in with the coddled tones, and we see a lot of this on social media, people that are speaking to individuals like they're babies, we understand why we do this, but it's so bad for us when there's no mixture of tough love. Because We grow up in this bubble, and we're developing in this bubble where we think that the world is a safe space, but nothing is a safe space. You're not even your bedroom is a safe space, because people die in their sleep from heart attacks. So it's so important to break that down. That doesn't mean compassion and empathy aren't important. It just means that if you're only using compassion and empathy, that it's probably not the best option for us. And the third piece, which ties in very nicely for that, is the other side of the coin. Tough love is one of my favorite quotes. Jim Rohn, he was Tony Robbins' mentor. He died in 2007. One of my favorite quotes by him is, tough love isn't the most necessary type of love, but it's probably the most useful when it's needed. If you use tough love too much with your son and daughter, your husband, your wife, they're suffering really badly. They're probably not going to be too receptive of that, depending on where they're from. I was raised with a Brooklyn mother. I came from the Northeast, from Jersey, New York area. I was raised very much with tough love. I was receptive to that more than the average person because of my upbringing. Most people are not like that. Most people are not ready to hear, hey, let's be real, shut the fuck up and do what you got to do. They're not ready for that. I wasn't even ready for that, and I was raised like that. I was more receptive to that, but I wasn't exactly ready for that at the time. I'm not saying you have to use vulgar words or curse at them. I'm saying that, it is important at times, if they're asking you for reassurance, if they're confessing to you and you sitting there, sorry, and you don't say anything and you say, look, this isn't going to help you. This isn't going to do anything for you. You really got to, you know what you have to do. Erica used to say this to me. You know what you have to do, Nick. You know what you have to do. Whether I was crying, saying I wanted to shoot myself, I don't want to be here anymore. That's going to be so difficult for your position, but it's what's best for us. That doesn't mean if they're really suicidal and they're struggling, you can't reach out for the corrective services. You definitely can. But I'm saying that OCD sufferers will do anything they can to get reassurance. We will do anything we can to confess and get what we're looking for. So the tough love is important. If you have a child who's 13, 14, 15, making sure you're using the compassion and empathy, but keeping them on a strict schedule. Don't allow them to play video games all day. Don't allow them to scroll on social media all day. You're the parent. You're the parent, okay? If they're under the age of 18, they have no say, okay? They have no say. You could take away the video games. Remember, it's about being a parent. It's not about being a friend. You can be friends with your kids when they get older, okay? My mom used to say this to me all the time. This is very important. Letting your 12 and 13-year-old do whatever they want to do. And remember, that does go back to point one. You can't force them, per se, to do their exposures, but you can set up an environment that makes it more sustainable for tough love mixed with compassion for them to do the things they're going to be able to do. So take the video games away. Don't let them play video games all day. They might scream and cry, but that's the way it is. We're living in a world right now, like I said, where parents want to be more of their friends, but we're looking at the back end anecdotes of that. We're seeing what that's doing to children, and it's screwing them up. And it's really screwing them up. So we really gotta put the foot down and say, look, here's the deal. You want to play video games? Do some work. Read the books. Okay, we've got the books on the reading list, OCDrecovery.com. Please watch some of the stuff on our YouTube channel, and that way we could see, and that's very important. Now, the fourth thing I want to talk about, and this is, I can't tell you, I can't imagine how difficult this is because of the natural, innate, biological tendency to give reassurance as a human race. Let me give you an example, mom and dad. You got a 5-year-old kid. Your 5-year-old kid comes up to you and says, Mom, Dad, what could happen to me when I get older? You want to reassure them. You don't want to scare your 5-year-old. I can't imagine. I don't have children. I work with a lot of moms and kids when it comes to OCD, which is sad scenarios. But you don't want to look at your child and say, you know what, son? There's a 20% chance you could die of this thing called cardiovascular disease. There's a 25% chance you could die of this thing called cancer where it eats away at you. You could be murdered. You could be shot. You could be killed. To be honest, that's probably the best option. Explained correctly. It might scare them at 5 and 6, but you might set them up for a better stoic perspective. I'm not saying no one does that because we don't know. There are people that do that, but we've never seen that on a wide scale data where we're like, oh, maybe that's the best thing to do. So we reassure them. But if we do too much reassurance, going back to point 2 with the coddling, and then they grow up and they think the world's a certain way when it's really not. The world's quite brutal. Very brutal places on this planet. Murder, genocide, tyranny, inflation with the government. I mean, there's all sorts of stuff, right? And then we set them up for this belief system that when they go into the world, that things are supposed to be a different way. And that's what sets them up. So we got to make sure that we're stopping, you're going to be okay. You're going to be okay. Okay. Please don't say that to us. It's really important. I know that's hard to hear. The more you say that to us, the more we're going to take that with that drug, because reassurance is a drug for us, certainty drug. We're going to take that and we're going to inject it. And we're like, yes, we got it. And it just makes the cycle worse and worse. Okay? Get them the corrective help, whether it's with us or someone else, someone that really understands OCD, right? They have to, we usually work with it all day long because it's very intense. I always say it's like triaging in an ER room. You're working with really severe cases, people who are really down the dumps. And as you know, you see it, your sons and daughters, husbands, wives. So they're going to confess to you. You got to tell them, hey, look, if they want to confess, you can't stop them. You can't go like that. I'm not going to give you an answer, son, daughter. I'm not going to do it. Honey, husband, wife, not going to do it. Remember, the tough love is very important. Mixture of tough love, compassion, empathy. Too much tough love could probably be resentful. Too much compassion and empathy, probably going to be coddled and not going to go well. The combination, this will look different from person to person, depending on their personality, depending on their beliefs, depending on their structure, where you guys live, society surrounding you, the culture, et cetera, et cetera. And, just really realizing, and the last point, the most important point, is please take care of yourself. It's already hard enough, right? My wife lost 20 pounds or so. She was so stressed out. Take care of yourself, please, for yourself. Nutrition-wise, exercise-wise, getting outside nature-wise, all that type of stuff. That stuff is really important. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, supporting a loved one with mental illness. I know it's a very brief video. I could talk about this for hours and hours. But, go back and watch this video a couple times and really take out some of the nuggets. If they're not listening to you, I'm sorry. I did this to my wife a lot. There is help. Please reach out, phil@ocdrecovery.com, and hopefully we get back to you in a timely fashion. Thank you so much. Have a good one, everyone, and good luck.